let's get into this one, man. Now we're doing tier lists for the AR players. Okay? We're going to be doing a community tier list today. I'm going to be interacting with the chat. We're going to be going to the polls. And that's how we're going to be doing this list, man. I'll give my opinions. I'll kind of, say where I think they should be. And then we'll go to the chat, see what you guys think. And we'll act accordingly. And we'll make the list together as a community, as a family. Okay, guys? So let's get into this. And let's see what we got to do, man. First one up. It's going to be my man Insight. Where do we put Insight on our tier list? Personally, I'm thinking like middle of the pack, C, like maybe C, low B. I feel like for me, Insight is not what he's not doing what he was doing last year. That's for sure. I think right now he's been like pretty underwhelming on what we know he can do. And I also think Toronto right now just as a whole hasn't been looking like themselves. So I feel like C is like a pretty good spot to put Insight right now. But let's go over to the list or go over to the poll and see what you guys think, man. We got 18% coming in from B. We got 77% coming in from C. Okay, so it definitely looks like Insight's going to be slotted into C. We'll see if, bro, what's also going to be cool about a lot of these lists is as the year goes on and major after major, if we continue to do this with the community after every single major, it'll be cool to see how these kind of, change, he is a good S&D player. He is very clutch. That's probably why I'm going to keep him at the top of C because of how clutch he is. But we'll see as the list goes on where we end up having him. Next one up is Lamar Accuracy. He's the next one up. Another clutch player in the league. Another person who's been super clutch, super icy. It looks like most people in the chat are erupting in Bs. So I feel like B or C is probably the best place to put him. I feel like B is a pretty good spot for Lamar. I feel like he's pretty consistent. Lamar always does the fundamentals really right. I feel like Lamar is just kind of like one of those players where like he's gonna make the right play. He kind of likes to make the same plays over and over again. He likes to go to the same spots. He's a very fundamentally sound AR player. And he's been playing pretty well this year. He's had some ups and downs, but he has been very clutch. And I think he's been a big part of that Seattle team's success. I think, Pat probably doesn't agree with that. I think Pat thinks that Pred and Dante are the whole team. And if they're frying, they win. And if they're not frying, they lose. But, I think for me, Lamar is definitely, somewhere in the B or C area. But let's see what the community thinks. Let's see what you guys got. We got 65% for B. We got 29% for C. I thought that was going to be a little bit closer for some reason. Enable actually had Lamar in C. So it seems like you guys went with B. We're going to put Lamar up in B for now. We'll see how it ends up playing out once we go through everybody. Let's go over to the next one. Mr. Tom Gravity from the Paris Legion. He's got the Atlanta FaZe stuff on from when he was a sub over there. Or when he was playing with the Atlanta FaZe. But I think with all the rest of the ARs on the list, unfortunately, we're going to have to put Tom down there. I feel like he's going to be C or D here. I'm not sure where to put him. Right now, like, Paris's biggest problem is they're not very impactful. Seriously. Like, there's a lot of good players on Paris, but when it comes to impactfulness and like, making plays, like, I think that's where, like, some of those guys, like, and again, when you don't have an impactful team, it's hard to run an AR. So I don't think Tom has been thrown into the best position with the best players, But where do you guys want to put Mr. Tom Gravity? Let's see what some of you guys say. We got 23% saying C, and we have 75% saying D. So it looks like the community has voted. Mr. Tom Gravity is going to go down to D. I think Tom still has a lot to show. I still think it's pretty early. It is his first year in the league, and we'll see how it ends up playing out for him. I think Tom's a good player. I think right now, like for me, my personal opinion towards Tom is just to focus on pacing, focus on knowing when to play fast, when to play slow, when to make a play, when to get aggressive. I think right now him and the rest of Paris need to figure out their pacing. I feel like that's like a huge issue for them right now because sometimes it just seems like they're just like uncoordinated, like you're not on the same page here, and they don't really like make too many plays or make the right play. But Tom, it looks like the community voted. He's going into D. And then we got Mr. Brucey himself, Mr. Dashy, and I think we know where he's gonna go. I think Bruce, 100% without a doubt, deserves to go up into the S tier. I think not only is he one of the most talented players in the game, But I think one thing that I want to highlight with Bruce as to why I think he's really starting to, you know, shine is because he's just starting to play fundamentally correct now. When you watch Bruce play, he does a way better job playing the game the right way. And playing the game the right way is not as easy as it sounds all the time, especially when you're in the moment and you're playing in the match. That's where a lot of players tend to make a lot of mistakes. So for me, Brucey, he's been a rock for Optic. He's kind of like that net that catches all the shit. If his whole team gets smoked, he's kind of like that rock that holds it all down. He's like a barrier for those guys, and he kind of just looks over everybody. And on top of that, he doesn't miss, and he's super snappy and super talented. I definitely think that Shotzzy is without a doubt in the S tier. The stats say it. The gameplay says it. They already won an event. I think a lot of people would probably say that he's probably the best AR in the game right now. That's what most people say. We got 81% S. Who the hell didn't vote S? We got 16% can't gun, Chris is hidden, and 3% saying A. So 13 of you guys were saying A, which is weird because if 13 of you guys are saying A, who the hell is S? Because looking at the rest of the list, I don't see anybody else who can be S. So that was interesting. But yeah, bro says, did I say Shotzzy? Did I say Shotzzy? Why does everybody say, did I say Shotzzy? Man, I'm fucking off the shits, bro. I'm off the fucking papaya, bro. Shit, I don't even know what the hell's going on. Let's go over to the next one. Crimsix, ladies and gentlemen. Crimsix. What are we doing with fucking Fat Man? He likes to be called Fat Man now. It's his new gimmick. This is what he goes by, okay? He calls himself Fat Man. Enable had him in B. I don't know where the hell to put Porter, bro. He's just kind of just like in the middle of the pack for me. You know, a lot of you guys are saying C. I feel like he's been super inconsistent, a lot of ups and downs. And then at times, like he was even running a sub, wasn't he? So like he was kind of a flex at times, but they got him on the main AR list. Let's see what the community votes, man. Let's see where you guys end up putting Crimsix, man. We got 34% coming in for B and 54% coming in for C. Okay, so 54% C and 36% B. So you guys want to put Porter in C. Here's the thing. Do you put Porter above Insight or do you put him under Insight? That's the real question. Personally, what do you guys think? We should probably put him under Insight. I probably would put him under, but let's see what you guys end up coming out with. That's going to come to a close at around 53%. So shout out to the chat for voting. I don't know, man. I feel like Insight has definitely made more plays. I feel like he's been very clutch. He's been, very good for Toronto. He's had, again, some ups and downs. That's why he's in the C tier. But if we're arguing between Insight and Porter, especially on the main AR role, I definitely think Insight, steals the edge a little bit on the main AR role. I even look at Porter as a flex. I don't even look at Porter that much as a main AR. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think Porter's a really good player. But when you're comparing him up against Insight, I think he might have to be in the second spot. But let's see what the chat thinks. You guys have Porter at 61% for first, 39% for second. So you guys want to see Porter above Insight. The community has spoken, and Porter will be going in the number 1 spot. So the chat has voted, the community has voted, and just like that, Mr. Ian Porter, a.k.a. Crimsix, is going to take that spot from Insight. And he's going to take that first spot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in the chat, I even see people, what the fuck? This is bullshit. This fucking list is terrible. This and that. Hey, take it up with the chat. Don't take it up with me. What are you going to do about it? Let's go over to the next one. We got Major Maniak. Love Mike, man. I love Mike. But for me, man, he just hasn't been it right now. In my personal opinion, I would personally put him down there in D with Tom. I think right now, Minnesota has a serious pacing issue, and they really have to figure it all out. They have Standy, who's playing at the speed of light. They have Preston, who's kind of that in-between. You have Mike, who, in my opinion, plays slow. I think one thing that you can give to Mike is his S&D. I think he's a really good S&D player. If we're going to put Mike in C, he'll probably be low C, maybe high D. Somewhere around here at the bottom of the list. Let's see where the community comes out. Let's see what you guys say. We got 76% D, 22% C, and 3% B. Okay. So it looks like majority of you guys, 75% of you guys, want to see him in D. The real question is do we put him above Tom or do we put him under Tom? I'm actually looking at Enable's list. He had Major Maniak under Tom like that. But what do you guys think? I feel like Mike, he brings a lot to the table in S&D. In Hardpoint, I feel like Mike is always trying to make the correct play. And this is going to sound really stupid. Like, seriously, what I'm about to say is about to sound really stupid. Sometimes I feel like Mike overthinks this shit. Like, he tries to make the perfect play all the time, but there's no such thing as a perfect play sometimes. Sometimes it's like, dude, just hit the hill. Just like, just face smash. Just slide in. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do something. Sometimes I feel like he tries to be too perfect. He tries to overanalyze in his head the plays that he's making. But, that's my opinion. I don't know really where to put him here. Let's see what you guys think. Where in D should he go? A lot of you guys think he should be in the first spot over Tom. We have 69% saying first, now 70%, and it's continuing to rise. We have 30% saying the second spot. So with the community vote and what you guys are saying, Major Maniak is going to steal that first spot in the D category. So we're going to bump him up in the first spot. So Mike, and get a little bump there from the community. How you doing? Next one up, we got Mr. Trey Zero. Trey Boy Cardi, London's very own. I love Trey, man. I think Trey has been phenomenal this year. I think Trey has been great. I think he's been playing some of the best COD. I think he's a very smart player, very methodical player. He's also the veteran on the team. I think he's bringing a lot to that London team. I think this is A every day of the week. I noticed that Enable had him in B, which is interesting. I'm surprised Enable had Trey in B. I think Trey should be A. I think with the way Trey's been playing, he's been super consistent. Super consistent. They've had some ups and downs recently with some recent buys. London hasn't looked like themselves. But to give London the benefit of the doubt, they went through a lot of bullshit for like a couple weeks. And I think it set them back a lot. So for me, I'm going to put Trey up there in A. But let's see what the community says, bro. Let's see what some of you guys say. We got 85% saying A. So looks like most of you guys agree with me. And before anybody says, oh, the chat just goes based off what I'm saying. The last 2 hours, honestly, you guys have been disagreeing with me a lot, which is interesting. Like the polls have not been anywhere near based off what I'm saying, which is a good thing, which means you guys are giving your own honest opinions and not just listening to my opinions, which is a good. Seems like most of you guys said, hey, we got 85% A, 84% final. So we're going to put Trey all the way at the top of A. I even see Trey Boy Cardi in the chat right now. What's going on, Trey Boy? How you doing, my guy? Fucking good-looking bastard that guy is. What a good-looking motherfucking Trey is. Then we got Mr. LaRue. He saw Octane in the chat earlier. I think Octane is ready to react to this video, man. He's ready to go back and watch this and give his thoughts. Octane, obviously, one of the better ARs of our generation. I think he's a legend to our scene. I think he's a staple to the scene. But recently, the whole LA Thieves roster, including himself, has not been it. It just hasn't. They haven't been playing well. I think Sam can agree that he hasn't been playing at the level he wants to play at. I think right now, I'm thinking like maybe low C or high D. I wouldn't put him under Mike or Tom by any means. But I think maybe like a low C is a pretty good spot to put him. But what do you guys think? Let's drop it in the chat and go to the polls and see what you guys say. We got 19% C, 80% D. So the community. Hey, so what's going on? Hey, so what's happening?
How you doing, Tommy Giuseppe?
We're doing the AR rules right now, Asim.
AR tier list right now?
Yeah,
okay,
right. Well, right now we're doing community. Like the community is helping me. We're doing community votes. It's a community list. I give my opinions, but
the rest of the
they want they want Sam. Well, we're on Sam. We're on Sam, Asim. We're on Sam. So we're gonna put Sam in first city. Sam, look at that. You're first place technically. You know what I'm saying, Sam? Good shit, bro. Let's go, dude. The chat has voted. The poll has voted. And just like that, 70% voted Sam at the top of D. So we're going to put him at the top. And there you go. Mr. San LaRue Octane getting slotted in there. Then we go into Austin Litico. I'm thinking A for this. I feel like Austin has really started to hit form.
He
changed an attachment on his fucking gun. And all of a sudden, he's shooting straight. A lot of people are saying B, Asim. What are your thoughts?
Oh, interesting. I'm thinking A, dude. I don't know.
Why do you think A?
Because Austin's the GOAT, man.
Because he's my teammate and he's a GOAT.
No, we just won. He had a phenomenal event statistically. You know, you gotta give.
Yeah,
him,
he's been playing well, bro. He's been playing.
There's no way you can't.
Chat, Thanos has been playing well. He's a champion.
Everybody still thinks B tier.
No, there's A's and B's. There's A's and B's.
No,
Let's see what the poll's saying.
The poll is 55B.
Okay, so we got 43% A, 56% B. I definitely think if we were looking at it from the beginning of the year, Austin would probably be in the C, A-sum or D. Now he's bumped up all the way up to A or B, you know? So I think, you know, as the year goes on, you know, a lot of this is going to change. But Austin, the last month or two, has been really stepping up his game, man. He's been playing really good. His stats have been good. He's been dropping kills. I think the one thing that Pat kept saying on the flank is he just wants to see Austin slay more, get more kills, and that's what he did at the event. 95%, instantly 200 votes going to number 1, so we're going to put Austin at the top of B, just like that.
Wait, these next two have to be A, and if they're not A, the chat is morons. That's all I gotta say.
Let's see what happens. Because, A-Sum, we've been disagreeing a lot, honestly. Where would you put attach on the flex roll? Where would you put attach? A or B? I put him A. Whole tap voted B.
What other A tier flexes are there?
No, it doesn't matter. But the where do you think Dylan should be?
Okay, no, I'm trying to gauge like what player, because I can't really think of a lot of.
I'm not even sure. I forgot who else was in there. I think Donnie was in A. And Skies was in A. It was a little bit.
I think he's A.
I feel like Dylan was a pretty good A shot, but they voted him into B.
Did you see Ian put Illy in B tier or C tier?
Yeah, he's tripping for that. Okay, I think he's tripping.
So
we put Illy in A. We put Illy in A.
Yeah, I called Ian faded for that, but then he showed me some of the stats, and obviously stats don't mean shit. But like,
I don't like, you know. I like looking at stats, but not like that.
Yeah, that's facts. Strictly from the eye test, Illy is definitely a A tier player, you know.
Bro, he's a champion out of 2 majors. He's won one of them. And he popped off at the major. He's popping off. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about the stats. Half the people have good stats, and that's the problem, Asim. That's the fucking problem.
So your chat was roasting you for putting Dylan in B tier or A tier?
Well, no, I put Dylan in A, but this is a community list, so we go based off the polls in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like the chat votes where everybody finishes off in the end. So I give my opinions. I put people where I think they're gonna go, but at the end of the day, the poll is what decides their placement. So right now, we have 57% saying C for DavePadie. C, Asim.
I agree.
38% said B. You said all A for all these guys. That's what you said.
No. I said the next two.
Oh, I thought you said DavePadie C. Okay.
No. I said the next two.
If you want my honest opinion, I think DavePadie right now just needs to focus on when to speed up, when to slow down. I think right now he's just got one pace, and that's super slow. He kind of he's a very L trigger player, very methodical player, but you know, I need more movement out of him. I need him to get more aggro. I need him to be more impactful on the map. Even as an AR player, you can still be impactful on the map. You might not be able to be as impactful as a sub player, but I definitely think you can still make an impact as an AR and still make plays. And when you look at some of the ARs on the top, like Trey, like Dashy, I mean, seriously, how many times do you see Trey playing that B point on Gavitu control and being a nuisance and being an impact with that AR? You know, you could say for a lot of those top ARs how impactful they are. DavePadie is going to go and see where in C should he go. Let's take a look at the poll. We got 54% for the first spot, 12% for the second spot, and 34% for the third spot. So it's weird that we see, you know, nobody really saying anything for the second spot. It's either between third or first, which is interesting, but 53% want to see him at the top of C. So we're going to put him, and I can agree with that, right, Asim? I feel like DavePadie, but when it comes to Crim and Insight, has probably been a little bit better.
Yeah.
In terms of performance. So that makes sense. Honestly, I kind of agree with you guys on that one. So there he goes, DavePadie all the way to the top. Now we get to fucking Tony.
We get to are A tier, and if the chat says otherwise, they're
yeah, I think the next two are A tier for sure. We're gonna start with Tony. I think Zinni's gonna go A. I see some people saying S. I don't know if he should be an S. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Nah, you can't be an S.
I think and you're seeing Brucey up in S. He's setting the bar pretty high.
He's the only S tier.
Yeah. He's setting the bar pretty high, ladies and gentlemen. So Zinni's gonna go into A. I definitely think we could put him at the top of A. Let's take a look at the polls to see what some of you guys are saying. We got 47%. Wow. We got 46% S and 52% A. Can you believe that, Asim? You got
That's
40,
crazy.
47% saying
close.
S. That is close, bro. That is close. I'm surprised.
Someone said Asim bias. He called him shit on stage. Listen,
It was one time.
I was calling Zinni shit, but I was trying to get in his head. Because Zinni was frying us, so I was trying to get in his head. You know what I mean? I was just playing some mind games. I do not think Zin is shit. I think Zin is disgusting.
It's in-game shit dog, bro. In-game
Yeah,
shit
bro.
dog. That is what it is, man. Okay, Zinni's gonna go into A. The verdict called 53%. Tony's going into A. Where in A should we put him? Ace, what do you think? Above Trey or under Trey?
Above Trey. Respectfully, wait, like
His numbers are his numbers are insane.
Are insane, yeah.
And again, like I don't like looking at stats all the time, but you also still have to look at the stats. And also, Zinni makes plays. He's super impactful. One thing about Zinni, when I played with Zinni in Black Ops 4, I fucking cooked his ass all day because he never moved. He sat in one spot every map.
He like actually makes plays.
No,
like,
yeah, he sat
like a lot now.
Zinni
like,
used to
Black
sit.
Ops 4, he used to be like a statue.
He didn't move. In Black Ops 4, he legit, respectfully, did not move. He just sat in one spot. I used to run by him every real life. Just run by this guy. Now, I feel like he's completely changed his gameplay. He's very hyper-aggressive. He likes to make plays. Super impactful. I like having Zinni at the top of A. And his stats have been insane. So shout out to Tony. He's really been making a name for himself, especially being somebody who arguably almost didn't get in the league. A lot of people were talking shit on his name, especially Reddit. A lot of people on Reddit did not like Tony. They still don't. And I think Tony's been shutting up a lot of haters. A lot of haters. Maybe the girlfriend buff is coming in, you know? Then we go with Arcitys, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be our final player. I think Arcitys is definitely going to go into the A category. I think the question is where in A does Alec go?
I think second.
So you would put Alec after Trey before Zinni, like right in the middle. You're going to slide him right in the middle.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at what the poll is saying. We got 80% saying A, 10% saying S, and 10% saying B. I personally wouldn't put Alec in B. I think A is the perfect spot to place him. Also, people talking about a role change. Is it really that much of a role change, Asim? Like, if you really think about it?
I mean, if we're doing tier makers, then yeah, I feel like it is.
But the role change just happened. We haven't seen him with the role change yet.
I scrimmed them, and Alec had a sub a fair bit of time. Like,
he did?
Like a good chunk.
Oh, wow, he did?
He was having me with MP40. I literally typed in the chat, said, Alec, you're literally having me with MP40.
That's interesting. Wow.
This tier list might get changed like in the near future, you know?
Well, I mean, he's gonna be on the flex tier list on the next
that's
one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's gonna be in the meaning art list.
Okay, interesting. Let's see what people think in the chat. Where in A should we put Alec right now? Between me and Asim, we're probably gonna slot him right in the middle between Trey and Tony. But let's see what the chat has to say. Where in A should Arcitys go? We got 50% saying the second spot, 25% saying the first spot, and 23% saying the third spot. So it looks like Asim, they agree with us on this one.
Yeah.
And they're going to put Alec there. So there you guys have it, man. We got the third and final list. This is the AR list. We went through the subs. We went through the flexes. Now we went through the ARs. This was the Zoomafia community list. And this is what we came out with. Let's compare it to Enable's list. Comparing to Enable's list, Enable has Zinni, Slasher, Alec in that order in A tier. He has Trey in B tier, Asim, Enable. Trey in B tier. And then he also has Lamar, Sam, and Insight in the C tier. He had DavePadie in B. So definitely,
okay, some adjustments.
Definitely some differences in our list, man. Both lists were a lot different. So you can take a look at Enable's list. You can see how much different his actually came out to be.
Wait, Tommy, you put only one S tier player?
What do you mean?
For sub players.
Yeah, Shotzi. Well, I had Simp. I had Simp in S, but it's community voted. The chat put him in A.
Oh wow, the chat doesn't think Simp is an S tier.
They put him in A. They put him in A, and I was vouching for Simp. I said, listen, chat, I really do think Simp should be an S. I think he's one of the most aware players in Call of Duty.
I don't know.
But listen, at the end, this is what we came up with, chat. What do you guys think? W or L or mid? Let's get the poll going. What do you guys think about the final list? A sniper list? A sniper list would be fire. That'd be fucking heat, bro.
Right.
out.